ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. Welcome to another segment of Khoj Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. The recitation today is the 21st and concluding pauri from Vadhans Ki War Mahalla Chotha. It has two sloks, which is the pattern, both composed by the third Nanak, followed by the pauri. The recitation of the first slok. Slok Mahalla Tija. Satgur no sab ko vekhada, jeta jagat sansar. Dithe mukat na hovai, jichar sabd na kare pe vichar. How mein mail na chukai, naam na lagay pyar. Ek ape baks milayan, dubda taj vikar. Nanak ik darsan dekh mar milay, Satgur het pyar. Satgur no sab ko vekhada. Satgur here used for the primordial enlightener, the creator. Satguru no sab ko vekhada. This enlightener, this Satgur, this absolute consciousness is visible to everyone. Sab ko vekhada, jeta jagat sansar. And it appears to us as the physical expanse that we see with our eyes, the physical universe. But dithe mukta na hovai, just by physically seeing the physical universe does not fetch us liberation from the illusion of duality. Because we stand here watching the physical universe and interacting with it with the sense of separation. And it is precisely this sense of separation that we need to realize as being an abstraction, not really true. That behind all of this diversity lies an essential oneness. So, dithe mukta na hovai, just by seeing it physically, is not going to free your mind from this illusion, jichar sabd na kare vichar, unless one contemplates the word of the Guru, the sabad, the message. One has to imbibe that wisdom in order to come to this realization and to act out of this realization. And then the Guru gives us reasons of why this is happening. How main mail na chukai, naam na lagay pyar. So unless we contemplate the Guru's word, we can't rid ourselves of the grime of ego. How main mail na chukai, naam na lagay pyar, nor can we create any affinity with the wisdom of the self. The ego is a block, the grime of the ego. So it's referred to as the grime because the formation of the ego itself, which is again a cosmic principle of creation does this. So it is given to us, but it is an abstract, it is a kind of a deception, that a kind of a false identity, an imagined center, if you will, of all of our actions, the sense of myself doing all of these things. But it is an abstraction. And where we go awry is when we begin to confuse that abstract center of our actions or our volition as myself. That's the illusion. So we have to get over this, and there are ways of doing it. Some receive the grace of union. Ik ape baks milayan. But what happens then is Dubida taj vikar, the modifications of the mind, cease. So you see, the ego is a conglomeration of our conditioning, our conditioned thoughts. And thoughts are never still. They flood the mind and they keep the mind off balance. So unless the mind is stabilized, we cannot begin to penetrate. We cannot begin to penetrate. This is what the Sabh teaches us. And then there are others who, through deep yearning, so the first way people receive this grace of union, meaning understanding this oneness, realizing this oneness, is sheer grace, although grace is always present. But there are others who have a deep yearning and love for the true Guru. Satgur het pyar, they attain the vision as well. Ik darsana dekh, mar mile, their ego dissolves. They surrender themselves completely. So we see the problem being laid out. This is the existential problem that we as humans suffer from, and from which arise all of our discontent. Mahalla Tija, the second slok. Satguru na sevyo murkh and gawar, duje pae bahut dukh laga, jalta kare pukar, nanak karan guru visarya, se na upkare anti var, nanak gurmati sukh paya, bakse baksalhar. So we get entangled in the world of phenomena because it is mesmerizing, because the ego is literally hardwired with it. It's quite natural. But by not following good wisdom, we remain spiritually blind and ignorant. Murakh and gawar. And in that state, when you are not centered in wisdom, the state of your mind is to suffer greatly. Duje pae bahut dukh laga, bahut dukh, suffer greatly. And they get burnt by their entanglement. They cry out in pain, jalta kare pukar. And all of these things that we are chasing around, for which we have forgotten Guru wisdom, they do not come, they do not help us in the end. Se na upakari antevar. In other words, we leave with a sense of regret, of not having played the game and not having dignified our humanity. So it is only through Guru wisdom, Gurmati Sukhapaya, that one attains a sense of well-being and satisfaction, of being blessed and forgiven. Bakse Baksanahar. In the Pauri, this is a eulogy and an explanation that the self, appe, third person, tu appe, you, is being addressed. Tu appe aap sab karta, koi duja hoye so avro kahiye. Hare appe bole aap bulave, hare appe jal thal rab rahiye. Hare aap mare, hare aap chode, मन हर सरणी पड़ रही है. हर बिन कोई मार जिवाल न सके, मन होए निचिंद निसल होए रही है. उठदियां बहदियां सुत्तियां सदा सदा हर नाम ध्याई है. जन नानक गुरमुख हर लही है. So the first few lines are addressed to the self, and it is meant as a description for us. It is being addressed as you. You are all in all. Har appe bole, tu appe aap. You are all in all, and you are the source of all speech. Appe bole. You speak the world into existence with your word, which is the Guru. You are the cause of everything. Aap sab karta. You are the consciousness in everything. And if only there were another that is distinct from you, koi dooja hoye, only then could we speak of someone else. Avaro kahiye. There is nothing else. So speech is a divine gift. It is not something that we owe to our own ability. It's given to us. It pervades everything. The self is also the master of death and life. Har appe mare, har appe choda. Therefore, the mind is being invoked and enjoined to seek the sanctuary of that wisdom. Man har sarani par rahe. The mind is being told also, be assured in the knowledge that other than the self, no one has the power to give or take life. Har bin koi maar jiwal na sakke. So drop your worries and relax. Man hoye nichind. Be without worry. Nisal hoye rahiye. Nisal means without a care. And therefore, be mindful of wisdom. Jan Nanak Gurmukh har lahiye. Good guidance. Be mindful of this wisdom at all times, whether you are standing, uthdya, or sitting, behendya, or sleeping, sutya. Sada sada har naam tyaiye. Dhyana is a state where all of your faculties, your sensory faculties, are integrated and united and focused as one. That is a state of dhyana, attention. It is one-pointed attention to things. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.